Back on Sportsbet, play of the day coming up. Time for the deep dive. The Saints' top draft pick, defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins, suffered a broken fibula during Monday's practice at the team's training camp. First reported by NFL Network and confirmed by ESPN, he will have surgery, expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. Big one there.
Oh, yeah, and let's not forget, the Saints have already lost a second-year pass rusher, and I'm going to butcher his name. Kikaha, let's just call him that. And this is a team, obviously, that was woeful on defense last season. They ranked dead last in the NFL in yards per rush and yards per pass. And Rankins was expected to be a big part of whatever kind of turnaround they hoped to have. You know, this guy had 26 and a half tackles for loss over his final 2 years at Louisville, and he's been working with the first-string defense all summer long. Nick Fairley's going to have to step up, a guy who performed fairly well in Detroit over the last couple of years. But with Rankins only out 6 to 8 weeks, maybe they get an impact from him before this season is done. But certainly not a good sign. Here's a quote from defense coordinator Dennis Allen. If he wasn't important, I don't think we would have drafted him with the 12th pick in the first round. So he's a good player. But he's one of however many guys we're going to keep on defense, 25, 26 guys. So if it's any significant injury, I don't know what the situation is. Sean would probably know more about that. But it's next man up. You're going to face adversity throughout the season. No one knows when it's going to come or in what form it's going to happen. But if that's the case, it's next man up. The next guy's got to step up, rise up, and play at that same level. So that's our mindset. What do you think, Paul? Losing the first round draft choice, a guy that's supposed to anchor your defensive line. Big loss or little loss for a Saints defense that wasn't very good to begin with?
Well, you hit on it. Big loss because they were so bad the last couple of years. I don't think they have a lot of playmakers to see if Dennis Allen can turn that around. The Browns get a big boost as Josh Gordon's back at practice. He is suspended for the first 4 games. They need this playmaker. Who else are they going to throw to?
Well, I mean, that's the thing about the NFL is you find guys that'll catch the football. You know, I mean, who'd heard of Gary Barnidge last year at this time? You know what I mean? But having a guy like Josh Gordon, let's not forget, he led the league, had more than 1,600 receiving yards in 2013, and that came despite getting suspended the first 2 games of the season. But since the start of 2013, he's been suspended for 29 games, only played in 19. So obviously it's a guy who hasn't been able to stay on the field. But let's not forget, he has the potential to be a real playmaker, and he played with RG3 at Baylor. Here's a quote from Griffin. Quote, Josh is family. We went to Baylor together. I love the guy. I don't know what's going to happen with him in the league or with the team, but he always knows that he has a brother in me. If the opportunity comes that he can get reinstated and play for the Browns, then I won't be upset with that. Let's just put it that way. He is family. At Baylor, we believe that no matter what happens, we always have your back. So here's a playmaker that RG3 wants to be working with. Here's a Cleveland team that's lined 4.5 wins, the lowest win total in the NFL. I think it's an impact return for the Browns. Nothing but good news in Cleveland.
Yes, Gradkowski out with the Steelers. Is Landry Jones going to be the backup? Sure looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, Jones probably solidified the backup job to begin with. But it's worth noting, Roethlisberger is a quarterback that, as we know, his style, holding the ball forever, waiting for something to develop out of the pocket, his style leads to injuries. And he's been hurt on a consistent basis throughout the back half of his NFL career. It seems like every year Pittsburgh needs their backup quarterback to start a game or 2 or 3. So Jones came in and did an okay job last year behind Roethlisberger. I'm certainly not going to say he was exceptional, but it looked like he is locked in at number 2. But after Jones, now without Gradkowski, he's a 10-year vet. The second consecutive season that he's been on injured reserve. Last year he missed the entire season with shoulder and hand injuries, and he re-signed with a 1-year deal. This might be the end of him. But now, for a third stringer, all they have is a project. I mean, Dustin Vaughn, he's never taken an NFL snap, and he was cut. Vaughn was cut in Cowboys camp last year.
Yeah, so let's see if someone calls Vic, see what happens. Tebow time. He's playing baseball. 49ers lost Thad Lewis, torn ACL. He got hurt in the first game against the Texans. Chip Kelly confirmed that yesterday. You have Kaepernick, who's suffering from a tired arm already, battling out with Gabbert. Lewis was supposed to compete for the third string with Jeff Driscoll as he made some plays in the fourth quarter Driscoll did it anyways. It's tough news there with Thad Lewis out.
Yeah, I mean, Driscoll made some plays with his feet in the fourth quarter. He scrambled, I think, 3 first downs he scrambled for, and we talked about that in our preseason betting 102 advanced methods, where you want the mobile QBs. And Driscoll showed pretty good mobility, even at the, against NFL backups. But, boy, the passing game wasn't real pretty with him on the field. And we would expect him to be on the field a fair bit over the back half of the preseason after that Lewis injury. Perhaps that is some of the money that we talked about in the opening segment of this show that's come in on Denver against San Francisco for this weekend's game.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to sbrpicks.com.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.